Do we have any new speakers that want to give anything or have any questions? Y'all, the room is open to the ladies. Any ladies in the audience want to come upstairs with us, sit and
Okay, so
talk?
the men are asking a question, and I think it's safe for me to ask this question, which I
Go
have
ahead.
asked. I have asked my doctor. Um, is it safe to run red lights? Because your body is telling you that you want to do that. Especially like third, fourth day. So me, I grew up old school. My granny is like, that's your body time to clean yourself. Don't nobody mess with you during that time. You know, I've asked my doctor because I'm like, it's been asked to me a couple of times, and I am a cramper, and I've heard that it has helped with cramps and things like that. So I just want to know what you ladies think, because like the doctor said yes, but sometimes I feel doctors say things that aren't true based off like they just think that everything with the body is so natural and normal. So I feel like they say things that aren't true. I want to know what you guys think and go from there.
This is Z. I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
can hear you.
can.
All right. So what I was gonna say is, if this is not your husband or somebody that you like, husband or wife, it's not your spouse, I would say no. The reason I say no is because of the spiritual energy. It take a lot to break soul ties with somebody that's ingested your bodily fluids during that time of month. I've done this on accident a few times, and I've looked at that as my body's way of rejecting that person and their energy. So I would say no.
Thank you for
Okay,
bringing that
okay. And
up. Thank you
I
for
really wanted
bringing
to
that
know
up.
because my granny, y'all know how grannies are. And my granny says like you have to allow that time span to pass. So I just want to know what y'all think.
Yeah, I agree. It spiritually for me that is my time of cleansing on top of what the young lady has stated in regards to if that's not your husband or wife. And honestly, if you're not around them all the time, you don't know their health, what they put in their body that's then entering into your body. So for me it's a no.
I would say if it's not somebody that you're married to or in a serious relationship, you should be using protection. So it's a yes for me. Soul ties are meant to be broken. We're going to get more into that the more we get into these discussions. Because don't be chained to that you dragging a graveyard around with your body, because that's absolutely not true. I hate that they put that out on the internet and people, just grasp the hold to it, but it can happen. So you need to be doing the work daily, no matter what your situation is, to make sure that you are clearing your body of anything that doesn't belong there. But you definitely have control over it. It's not something that's going to condemn you until death. You have to do the work every day. So whatever you do it responsibly. Because if I want some, I'm going to get some.
Yeah, I will say you definitely be horny. During your
That's when I'm the most. That's
lifetime.
when it be the most, bro.
Ladies, we listen, be a rabbit ready to hump a wall. Do you hear me? But I will say I agree with the other ladies in the room. If it's not your husband or if it's not like, a strong significant other, I would definitely recommend not a raw dog and that hot dog. Okay? The raw dog, that ketchup. Okay? You're gonna be dealing with some crazy things. Okay? But the doctors do tell you that. And they do say it is to help cramps. I will also say I have heard from a few of my lady friends who do that. They run the red lights. They say it did help with their cramps. It did help ease all of that, and they didn't have to deal with it with that. Um, but I feel like it may be a to each his own type of thing, depending on how you feel about it and depending on your beliefs and everything.
I definitely would like to say, because I've done it too, I'm right there with Z. And I'm also right there with Adu, because I feel like as adults, just like the bitters, you got to drink these bitters because we are very alkaline as women, and the men are, I mean, acidic as women, and the men are alkaline. So naturally, we're alkaline. The things that we're ingesting and putting onto our skin are not naturally alkaline. So you're always doing a battle of what's good and what isn't. And I don't want a one size fits all because I know as women, we like to share the things that are. Helping us in the way that we feel like would benefit others. And I'm grateful of spaces and conversations like this. And I also always say you are an advocate for yourself. It is very vital. Locke has mentioned this, and I'm going to continue to mention it because I work in all specialties. I am the spook that's out by the door. I will probably hang up on you and call you back and let you know what I'm seeing in your charts. Like I know that's probably I don't even care. As a black woman, I need us to understand what it is that we're not all going to school for. And I'm not shading nobody. I'm just saying those that have been in this need to tell all the stuff because me, I'm deadly allergic to all seafood, tree nuts, and peanuts. So some of the things I'm hearing don't work for me. And I'm not saying that it don't work for others. I'm just saying I had to figure this out on my own, just like I want my sisters to do the same, but not without support and aid and help like I'm hearing in here. For me, there was 20 years of nobody having my allergies. Now there's certain people that have certain peanuts and certain shellfish and certain freshwater. I have all of them, all of my 38 years of life, and nobody's ever had them like me. So Odessa Brown up here in Seattle, Washington, yeah, I'm part of looking into reparations because they played with us, some of us that are indigenous, and a lot of us that was in the system knows how the system plays with us. So I'm not saying none of these things to shade any of my sisters. I'm just saying a lot of us black women have elements in our bodies that are free radicals and cancer. And it doesn't show into our later states when our bodies are moving in a slower state. So Alzheimer's, that's the meat. There's worms in this stuff. You have to understand you have to deworm yourself too. And it's not to shade you from the meat. If you are not raising this meat yourself, if you are not feeding it yourself, then there's always a chance you are giving yourself kind of a slow start to healing if you don't understand where this meat is coming from. A lot of this meat, when I was homeschooling my boys, I found out is black label list. So you don't even know where this meat is coming from. So I'm not shading you away from it. I was born in July, born on barbecues, you know. When I went into the medical field, I could not help but to better myself. And that's the advocacy of self, you know. So I could say, yeah, get your blood type and start eating for your blood type. But I can also say where you're at in the US of A, because I don't know who all is listening, but I'm just going to speak from my motherland. Where you at in the US of A, you are needing to eat where you're at. So where you're at, the sky, the clouds, you got to eat the seasons because it's going to help you. So if you're in climates and spaces that are not helping you, I don't want to make you leave that space. I just need you to understand that maybe you need to eat differently and provide yourself that longevity of knowing that you have advocacy of yourself because of you note taking and journaling and saying, okay, this was feeling this way in this month. Now, the next time that this feels, what did I eat? What did I do? As women, because of our acidic levels, I would stay away from salts, artificial salts. Someone said something about if you want sweets during your menses, you want fruits. Yes, go to the fruits and chocolates. Go to the bitters. No milk in there, no sugar in there. Go to the bitter chocolates because there might be something that you need within that. Also, I can't stress enough about seeds. We're women. You need to eat the fruits and veggies that got seeds. If there's white seeds or seedless, I would probably steer clear of those. But if that's all you can do, just balance within you. As far as the I don't want to say blood rituals, but going through the red lights. Yes, it can help. Don't look at this as band-aid fixes. Please, please protect your temple, my beautiful goddesses. I just want to leave it at that. Love y'all.
Yeah, so
Okay,
for
I seen
I
in the
can
I
chat.
say
love it.
I'm sorry. I seen in the chat that
that
go ahead, Queen. I'm
I
sorry.
have ran the red light before. Do I feel like it helps with cramps? I can't speak to that because I never had cramps. However, I would never do it again just because I feel like during your cycle it's supposed to be a physical and spiritual cleansing. And I think even when it comes to your husband, your partner, what have you, even if you have that strong connection with someone, you should take out the time to just cleanse your body and your atmosphere physically and spiritually. Now, to each his own, everyone's going to do what they want to do. But I also feel like it is a strong sex blood ritual. And it's easy for some people to cut that cord, but others may not know how to do it. So if you don't really know what you're getting into. And you could be tied to someone that you don't want to be tied to. And I know some people don't think it's that deep or that serious, but it could really go wrong if you don't know what you're getting into. So I would suggest against it, but to each their own.
I definitely agree that it's more of a spiritual time for me as well. I think it's usually spa time. You know, that's usually the time where I want me a massage. I want me some reflexology. I want to relax. You know, I want to go somewhere and sit in a sauna. Um, I don't know if where everybody located at, but here in Atlanta, we got this spa called Jeju. It's a 24-hour Korean bathhouse, and it's amazing. In Dallas, they have spa.
Amazing.
Yes, in Dallas they have Spa Castle, which you can sit Jeju inside of that. So there's just like so many spaces that are opening up where you can actually just go and immerse yourself and just really be into you during that time frame. That yeah, sex be the last thing on my mind. And I'm a to also just to veggie back on what everyone was saying. The ones that can have sex, I also think that's because y'all have a good healthy cycle too. You know, I'm thinking like that because if you were like slump over, throwing up, and in pain, you wouldn't be thinking about no sex. So it's kind of
No, but no,
healthy.
mine's isn't. It's really bad, the yoni lady, but it's just because I be looking for anything that's going to help the pain, and that's something that I heard like that like relieves the pain and the cramps and the
You can make
blow.
a suppository. You can make a suppository or use a suppository and put it internally. I
Yeah,
have. I'm not sure if you like are ingesting cannabis, but I know women that's had cysts and fibroids, and they made a suppository out of cannabis and stuck it inside of their vaginal internally.
did it work?
It's a lot of things. Yeah, they work for them. So I mean, it's
Okay.
a lot of things you can do, but I think the biggest thing is when it comes to these cramps, is like the ladies were saying, your diet has a lot to do with that. Whatever trauma you have also contributes to cramps. Whenever I haven't done enough yoga or I haven't done enough cord cutting, my cramps and my periods is a lot heavier. When I take care of my energy and my mental health, if my menstrual cycle is heavy or painful, it's a reflection of my mental health. When my mental health is more stabilized and balanced and I got a lot less on my plate, my periods is a lot lighter. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's my
Yeah,
observation.
I feel you. I got dysmenorrhea, so I just got painful menstrual. But um,
I
yeah.
wanted to
Okay.
say because I had the endo. I was diagnosed with endometriosis and fibroids too. I had three, two on one ovary, one on the other. And I just want y'all to be mindful and pay attention to where the cramps are being had. I have experienced the pain being on the upper part of my belly to the lower part of my abdomen and to from my ovaries and so forth, and pain from your ovaries and then the pain from, like, let's say around the somewhere around the uterus or near the abdomen. Those can be two different issues. So pay attention to where, even though it's a cramp, pay attention to where the cramp is coming from, and look into massages that help that issue specifically, because there's massages that helps specifically for endo, then there's massages that help specifically for cysts to fibroids, and I also recommend looking into black castor oil as well to apply on the outside of your body or the outside of where those cramps are, because they do help break down the tissues, damaged tissues. So, and that's something I have worked on myself prior to having my little one. So, something to look into.
I
I
was
also
on
just
the
dropped the
phone.
link. I'm sorry. I just dropped the link in the chat to go over if you having pains in certain areas to tell you what the spiritual meaning behind it as well. Because not all physical pains is due to a disease, is due to a dis-ease. So there's like definitely levels to your pain, and I just found out what was wrong because what made me go deep into it, I've been having like some weird hip pain. I thought it was like the ovulation stages, but it kept going on afterwards. And so I just was like, I know I'm not, oh, I'm active, there's nothing wrong, like I ain't hit it, so what's going on? So I went on a deeper level, and what it said is so true. It's spot on. So I put the link in the chat. And if you having any type of experiences with any type of pain, I'm talking about as minimum as headaches. You can go check and see what the spiritual meaning behind it is.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Drinks, personal drinks,
Thank
y'all open
you.
soda.
And ladies, y'all know with these links, you can save them as a bookmark, and always go back to them. If you don't know, ladies, save them as a bookmark, and they'll always pop up for you. Dion, I seen you come off mic now. Earlier in the room, I'm not gonna call you that. Big Breezy, Big Breezy, had a question. Breezy, do you still remember your question, or I wanted to make sure you got your
Why you
question out
can't
for you.
call me that? That's
I
my name.
ain't calling you that.
Call her by her name.
um, hey y'all, it's Big Daddy Breezy. My question was, right? I don't know if this like a real thing or not, but I've experienced this, and so I was wondering if it was a real thing and if anybody else experienced it. But like, does anybody like ever just get like depressed or like mildly depressed when you're on that time of the month, or maybe even like starting the week before? Sometimes like I just like get really like, I don't know, like, and I can't get out of it, like I'm in a funk. Like,
I I
Um,
definitely
I
do.
get
I
emotional, not
yeah.
depressed, but
I get
emotional.
angry. I'm way more angry towards men when my cycle is coming on. The week before
Yeah.
and the week of, oh yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
I
But
don't
what
It's
even
is
be
full
it,
effect.
angry, I
Bev?
just
Like
be
I
like
don't know, I'm crying,
sad.
and then I go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, okay.
I agree with you. I
Oh,
get
you
I
have
knew I
more
trauma
wasn't
you
no
gotta
weak
deal
ass
with.
bitch.
I get
All
more
the above. I be
confused.
wanting to fight, and I'm too tiny to
I,
fight.
I get more
Okay. Oh,
confused and
see,
I get
I'm
like
straight like
delusional,
Ladies,
like,
please.
or indecisive. That's what I get.
I was gonna say, I understand with even the slight depression, I'll isolate. And I'm always a quiet person, but I become even more extremely quiet. I would rather be under, my man or whatever and just be held and tummy rubbed. But yeah, I don't want to talk because it hurts to talk. I just want to just lay there. So I definitely get it. It's a thing for sure.
I'm a little depressed because I could not comb my hair for the life of me when I'm on my menstrual. I can't put a ponytail in that thing. I'm just like an afro. I look like Miss Celie on my menstrual. I just got an afro and ashy lips. I'm just kidding. I can't do it.
So just so y'all know, that does actually have a name, right? It's not just any type of depression. There is a thing called situational depression, which is very common and popular in the sense that almost everyone experiences at some particular point in time because again it is situational. It does not always last a long time, and any symptom of depression can pop up during that time because again it's situational. And if you do have really bad cycles, that hopelessness or helplessness, especially if you have people that depend on you for day-to-day care, is a thing. So what you're saying is not something that's abnormal. You are not alone. A lot of us deal with situational depression in addition to just being depressed overall.
Now
Yeah,
that there, I be feeling like that's some internal spiritual issues going on. Cause I be wondering why am I feeling like this again? And I do think that some of the issues that's tied to hormones is tied down to the ancestral trauma through our maternal line. I do think that there's a strong connection there. that's slept on in the holistic healing world for fertility and menstruation.
That's a fact.
Well,
I
that's
say
how I
I agree.
mentioned.
Hmm.
I
Well,
Well,
agree with that.
well,
our
I
testosterone levels rise during our cycle. So when y'all man telling you y'all acting crazy, tell him that you're acting like him. But on a serious note, I definitely feel the same. And what helps me uplift my mood during those times are herbs like chamomile, damiana, and mugwort.
And
Can I
so I
lavender,
was just
lavender,
gonna
lavender. I love lavender during that time.
was about to
Lavender,
I
say
like
that. I was
honey.
gonna
lavender
say
makes me
lavender.
sleepy.
I like honey bush tea. I drink it by itself though. I don't always use it as a little sweetener, but I like honey bush tea and rooibos tea.
Can I
And I
ask
do
a
want everyone
question?
to note that you don't have to consume all of these teas, like ingest them, right? So you can put them in satchels and you can use them as compresses if you get headaches or migraines. So these herbs, we're talking about teas by and large, but these herbs are not just for ingestion. And some herbs, if you look them up, are actually recommended for you not to ingest and use topically. So do be mindful of that. These things have multi uses. I did hear someone mention that they put it in their bath, and that is an amazing thing to do. So yes, these things can be used in everything. You can infuse them in oils. You can cook with these things as well. So do be mindful of that. You don't just have to drink them, especially if they're too bitter and you can't necessarily like take that taste.
Oh,
So
thank
this,
you. Can
go
I
Um,
ahead.
say something? I'm sorry, I have mom brain, you guys. I got an 18 and 13-year-old, and they be tag teaming me. I have to give love to Locke because I feel like it was you that made me think of the tea baths. I call them spirit baths because I got to give my boys their spirit baths. I don't like they daddies, but I ain't gonna stop them from those, donors, those others, sperm donors, whatever. Um, my boys would come back around me and I could feel the energy on them, and I would get very emotional during right before my stuff, very horny, very emotional because your eggs are trying to purge, and they're like, okay, oh, go get pregnant. So you very horny because of that. Also, when I was being emotional, I was noticing that the energy was coming off my boys, made me very emotional because they dads is punks, and I would go through that situational depression. I also wanted to say during that time, I did do my T's and I journal right. I feel like you should have a Mincy journal. And that's something that also psychologists and the OBGYN and the women's department that I worked in, that's something that a lot of them are starting to tell these shelters and, these programs that have DV, because I also work with, domestic violence, domestic abused women's network, but I also work with men too, because I feel like with my boys, if I give them emotional strength, even if their dads are idiots, if I help my boys understand emotional strength and put them in the right community so they can get the masculine, to back up the feminine, I'm noticing how my 18 and my 13-year-old is. My 18 is like 6'1", my 13 is like 5'7". Bro, like I don't got babies no more. I'm over here like mourning in a way. But I also can say that what I notice off of me taking my time and listening to myself, writing it down, I sound crazy as hell every month. Like, what the hell's wrong with me crying? Let me go cry at the water. So I can say, even if you don't feel up to exercising, if you go out, it, depending on where you are, I'm in the Northwest, so I go to the water, I go to the lakes, oceans, or the trees, or somewhere in the park to get that fresh air. You need to get around nature because you are Mother Nature. Father Time is what I feel like this patriarchal system is doing, messing with our time. We used to go with the moon. I know that might sound a little weird, but my flow is with the moon. When I'm away from my sisters who got their juicy jab, no shade, they were shedding, and I felt that. So I had to go get Shungite stones and my crystals and balance myself. Like my beautiful sis Z came in here reminding me I had to help myself cleanse my wound. So I'm grateful of everything I'm hearing in here. You don't even know. I'm about to be 39 this July. And I'm over here like, okay, I ain't running. Like, I'm sad that I'm about to be in my next years. I'm just happy that I'm able to say, I didn't even think I was going to get past 18. Yeah, Great Northwest, we in the hood up here too. So I have to say thank you, you beautiful gods and goddesses that are on the stage and in the goo, giving the comments. I really appreciate y'all. And thank you for letting me give a little love too, because I don't want to be a know it all. I just want to give knowledge too. I'd be happy when we talking. So if you guys ever feel like there's something I can learn from stuff that you guys got, I'm definitely open. And thank you for pouring into my heart. I love y'all. London.
I
And
wanted to
ladies,
add
make
We
sure
love
something.
you
y'all add
back.
I wanted to add
make
something to
sure
what she
we add
said.
everybody in the room, y'all. Make sure y'all add each other so we can ping each other up. This is just week one, y'all. It's gonna be a 4 week series. So ladies, I want you to come in here every single week. Like we finna wake up some stuff, okay? We finna get ourselves right. We finna get our minds right. We're gonna become better women. We are edifying each other by having these conversations, helping each other. Like let I love this for us.
I wanted to add something to what she just said. So this is something that my ancestors had me do, and they had asked me to share it when the time was right. So I'm assuming this is the time right now. So they had me take my old panties, like my old underwear, because I just got a whole new set of them, and they had me make gree, which is like a spiritual mojo bag, and they had me hand sew the fabric from them together. They clean, of course. I don't already cleaned them, but I sewed the fabrics together, and I put herbs in there, and I keep it under my pillow. So not only is my energy not being messed with when I'm out and about, and I'm talking about, I've been noticing a huge difference when I'm out and about, and I have this gree for protecting my womb when I'm out and about. But even just at night, I'm not having dreams about exes. I'm not going through none of that. I can actually feel them trying to pull on my energy. It's not like oh, why am I thinking about this person now? Now I can feel men from my past, women from my past, pulling on my energy and stop it in the moment. So that's a part of that core cutting process or that soul tie cutting process. Whereas after you cut it, making sure nothing else is attracted to you to create another one. But the herbs is going to be specific to whatever you want. But I feel like that key is using because normally we use fabrics, fresh fabrics or new fabrics to make gree. But using your panties so that nobody else can use them in any type of spirit work or in the past or in the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something I wanted to add to the conversation.
While y'all
Oh,
talking
thank
about like
you.
the herbal baths and stuff, I hope that y'all mention like the yoni steams because a lot of the herbs that y'all spoke on can be used for yoni steams. And then I was at some point, I don't even know when or how. I don't even know if y'all mentioned it already. But also just like for anxiety or when you're upset, depressed, or you have like a panic attack. If you feel comfortable taking your medication, then do so. But alternative, anyway, is actually sniffing the herbs. Now y'all say y'all put in a little sack. Uh, I'ma have to do that because I typically open up my jar and I just sniff like the eucalyptus. I might mix the eucalyptus with the spearmint or peppermint. It might be some cinnamon with the chamomile together, or even a lavender and the cinnamon together, and just sniff that, and that helps a lot with a lot of the mental symptoms that we were talking about earlier.
Thank you for mentioning that, Soul, because I do that every month. Even for the days that instead of if I don't do my baths, my spiritual baths, I'll do like a spiritual shower and I'll take the eucalyptus leaves and the lavender leaves and, make sure you roll them so they're activated, hang them and tie them around your shower and breathe that in as you are cleansing your body. That's also a good thing to do too with inhaling.
I have a question for everyone.
Ask away.
What is it? Because I know when I was growing up, anything about my cycle was like nerve wracking, taboo. It was uncomfortable to talk to anybody about it because I felt like even my mom didn't understand, even though I knew she was going through it too. So, what is something that you would want your partner, your loved ones, or anyone who's around you during that time to know about you or how to support you during that time? Because I think that during that time, we're so caught up in the moment. I know I don't know how to ask for support in the way that I need it during that time. So, what say you, ladies?